Welcome, everybody. I'm Joe from the Game House. Today we'll be doing a Chicago Bears 2025 NFL mock draft. The Bears are on the clock in our 2025 NFL mock draft series. We're going through every NFL team, maybe once before free agency, once after free agency, before we get to the 2025 NFL draft. The Bears are on the clock at pick number 10. We're going to be using the NFL mock draft database simulator because I like how it meshes big boards from across the internet together to make their own big board. And we'll be rejecting all trades that come in to keep it as realistic as possible because one trade makes the whole rest of the draft go a different way. The Bears got Ben Johnson as head coach. I think they have to feel pretty good about that. There's still a lot to be improved on this team, including the offensive line, maybe some pass rush pieces. So we're going to go through this and see what we can do to make the Bears better in 2025. I think with this one, I would probably go Kelvin Banks, the tackle for Texas. Left tackle for Texas, a good athlete. Maybe doesn't have the measurements that you're looking for, but I think he's good enough that he can stick at left tackle. Could play for Braxton Jones, could play for Darnell Wright on the right side. They could move Kelvin Banks inside. I think it gives them a lot of flexibility with how they're going to build this offensive line under Ben Johnson, which was such a key staple of how they built those Lions teams that he was the offensive coordinator of. All right, next one up. Would love an edge rusher here. I think we're going to go Jack Sawyer. Maybe Princely. We could go Princely. Let's go Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State. A guy we were kind of like waiting to flash his whole Ohio State career, and then man, did he play well for that college football playoff run. Can kind of pair him across from Montez Sweat and have a pretty good thing going there. Wants me to take Derek Harmon. I mean, there'd be good value here, but I do like some of the young defensive linemen that they already have. Tyler Williams as well. I mean, it's probably crazy, but I would might double up on offensive line just to make sure it's good. And there's so many good ones here, and you don't really need some of the other guys like wide receivers that just tell me to take. I'm going to go Donovan Jackson, interior offensive lineman who played well at left tackle when asked to do that for Ohio State last season when some of their players got injured. I mean, there's no qualms about the offensive line now. You have things fixed, ready to go, and you can still fix some other areas here. JT Toy Malowau still there. We already took an edge, probably not going that way. I don't think we're going wide receiver with how much they have. We're not going with another interior offensive lineman. I think at this point, looking for guys who can maybe step into starting roles, but um, they had injury issues in the secondary last year. So let's go Xavier Watts, the safety out of Notre Dame. I think that'd be a really good pick for them. To a guy who's a really good ball hawk as well. So maybe they move safeties around and figure out how that's going to fit. But I think a really good pick and a really good football player who, if you get him a 72, is at least good value there. Next pickup is 149 for the Bears. Got a lot of the big needs taken care of already. So at this point, looking for depth guys, special teams guys, and we'll see what we can get here. Um, let's do RJ Harvey, the running back out of UCF. They traded Khalil Herbert to the Bengals last year. DeAndre Swift. I wasn't overly impressed with how he played. So get some depth behind him. They have Roshan Johnson as well, who did very well in a goal line back role. But just get another guy in the room at this point to kind of help with things. With the next pick, I'm going to go with Ricky White, the wide receiver at UNLV. This is, they don't really need another wide receiver. They have three really good ones, but you have a guy who can play special teams. I think that really means a lot. A guy who can be your fourth or fifth receiver on a team, but also go out there and block punts too, which is amazing. Next one up, let's do Elijah Roberts out of SMU. They had a really good season. He played pretty well himself, and to prove that defensive line depth, at least to start, they have some good youngsters, like I said. But I think that'll be good for them to get another defensive lineman. And then the last pick, let's go Jamari Harris, the corner out of Iowa, to kind of just get some more depth there as well. We've taken a lot of positions here, but we have not taken a corner yet. So I think it's going to be the best pick for them at that point. So we're pretty heavy on offensive line. Need to make sure that was fixed. The Bears' offensive line did play better at the end of last season. So don't get me wrong. But I do think they want to emphasize this and make sure they have the best possible offensive line for Caleb Williams for this offense. We know Caleb Williams is a player that likes to hold on to the ball a little bit. That's going to be something big that Ben Johnson has to work with him a little bit here. So, Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle out of Texas at pick number 10. Jack Sawyer, the edge rusher out of Ohio State at pick number 39. Donovan Jackson, the interior offensive lineman out of Ohio State at pick number 41, but he can also play tackle too if you need him to, as he showed in that college football playoff run. Xavier Watts, the safety out of Notre Dame, really good ball hawk there. RJ Harvey, the running back out of UCF. Ricky White, the wide receiver out of UNLV. Elijah Roberts, the defensive lineman out of SMU. And then Jamari Harris, the corner out of Iowa. Let me know what you think of this mock draft down in the comments below. We'll be doing more mock drafts for every NFL team before we get to the NFL draft. For now, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.